Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm a new YouTuber and I'm thrilled to share this journey with you. At the end of last month, I moved from Shanghai to Hong Kong to pursue a master's degree of performing arts. Relocating to a new city is no small feat. I packed all my belongings into 12 boxes and 2 suitcases. Books are the heaviest part, even after I've already sent 5 more boxes of them to my parents' house. My former landlord helped ship the remaining boxes once I found an apartment in Hong Kong. When the delivery worker in Shanghai checked the weight and cost via WeChat, he sent me a screenshot. Guess what? Next to my name, QQ Yang, there is a label, profitable. In Chinese, it seems like a sweet wish for prosperity. QQ Yang, profitable. QQ Yang, 有钱赚. So I confirmed the bill immediately. All 220 kilograms of my things cost almost 1,000 RMB total. 4 days later, when I unpacked those boxes in Hong Kong, it felt like my new life was unpacking right along with them. I've visited Hong Kong a few times before, but this past March, when I came here for my interview at the Hong Kong Academy for Performing Arts, I felt a connection to the city I'd never had. After the interview, I sat on a seaside bench, and the Bohemian petals drifted down onto me. 20 March was such a lovely day, but I was too nervous to let myself hope. I kept overthinking, what if I don't get in? The worst case scenario always popped into my head first. Luckily though, I finally got the offer. Waiting for that response was torture. During that time, I tried to stay grounded. I forced myself to look for jobs to distract me. But sometimes I would break down crying when I thought of the application. Mostly, I turned to books. I read works by Hermann Hesse, Elena Flanta, Chai Jing, Hou Xiaoxian, Li An, Liang Yusheng, Jin Yong, to name a few. And I discussed these books with AI, which gave me really thoughtful insights. My e-reader was a lifesaver too. I got it as a gift early this year, and fell in love with it instantly. Wow, it's like discovering a new continent. It's so convenient and portable. I take it everywhere. I'm sure it will last until it retires, especially now that I'm in Hong Kong. Physical books are heavy and pricey. By the way, last week, I went to a bookstore and found my favorite title cost around 200 HK each. Wow, so my Kindle will definitely stay my go-to. One tricky thing about this waiting period, I get flustered when I have to talk to new people. My face turns red instantly, and others might misunderstand, like, does she have a crush on me? I can easily sense the change in my own and others' emotions. One more thing, I've heard that there is a surgery to fix this by cutting certain nerves, but I won't do this. But I feel better when I know there is a solution. Even as a highly sensitive person, I know there is a way to live comfortably with who I am. In the first week this semester, I've had to introduce myself in public 4 times. And almost every time my face turned red even before I started talking. It's funny, as you know, I'm one of the more experienced students in class with 10 years of working experience in theater. But public speaking makes me act like a shy teenager. Take the first Wednesday, for example. I thought the professor was strict, so I was already nervous before the class. Turns out he's really kind, but by then I was already blushing through myself in intro. I hate looking shy, but my face always gives me away. I'm quiet by nature though, it has never held me back. When work requires me to collaborate, I jump right in. That's just the INTJ in me. Introverted, intuitive, thinking, and judging. I'm very strong on the I, M, and J, and pretty solid on the T. It's a description of a personality test named MBTI. You may know it. Actually, I've thought about going back to school for years, but uncertainty held me back. Last year, something unexpected happened. There was a painful turning point, both for my career and the emotions. That made me feel stuck and hopeless, like I needed to rebuild my inner order. After that, I let go of a lot of relationships, people with conflicting values who pretended to be kind, gossipy and boring guys, and some so-called friends. Cutting those ties made my life so much lighter. Like I said, highly sensitive people absorb so much unnecessary information. It can get overwhelming fast. On a nicer note, I've always been sensitive to noise when I sleep. My Hong Kong apartment is right by the road, so I thought I would need days to get used to the traffic and the old air conditioner. Usually when I move, it takes weeks to sleep through the night. I struggle to feel safe in new places. But here, I slept deeply the second night. It felt like a miracle and it comforted me a lot, like the city was already welcoming me. I even felt like a little voice saying in my head, "My child, everything's okay, you are doing great." I'm so glad I finally took the leap. I have no regrets about the past. It took me a whole year to say goodbye to my old self, and it was worth it. Now, every day feels productive. I've sorted out my Hong Kong phone number, Hong Kong identity card, October's card, and Wi-Fi. I'm getting used to local apps like Kita for takeout. My curiosity is coming back, and that's awesome. It makes me feel alive again. By the way, I wrote this in my personal statement to the academy. If there's one thing that makes me feel alive, it's the performing arts. My first decade in theater is over, and I hope the second starts right here at HK APA. Let me talk about classes. On the first Monday, a Harvard professor taught our first session, and I felt like an alien because I couldn't keep up with her. The class was 3 hours long, from 4 to 7 p.m. I was starving and the classroom was freezing. My brain just shut down. Tuesday was better though. Another professor taught in Hong Kong English, which was easier to follow. Both of them are so kind, and I'm determined to work on my mute English and the sensitivity this year. Most of my classmates are beautiful and outgoing, so the orientation week was a little overwhelming. But it was a touching moment. When all of us gathered in the academic theater, our headmaster said, "Be curious, be kind, and don't be afraid of making mistakes." I almost teared up. Looking back, I've always needed someone to say that to me so many times. Don't feel mistakes, you're doing great. Hearing to hear means the world. I'm looking forward to my Hong Kong self. A more confident, open-minded Gugu with more experience and knowledge in my field. I learn by going where I have to go. This whole journey feels like a Chekhov's story. Characters confusing about their life but hoping for something meaningful. Speaking of Chekhov, I watched a Bahotang Theater's production, Uncle Vanya, in Shenzhen last weekend, directed by Limas Dominas. He's my favorite theater director and he knows Chekhov well. I will recommend his works to you in advance next year when Bahotang Theater come to China again. Also, I watched a Cantonese performance called Left Zhang Said starring Ye Tong the weekend before last. She is one of my favorite actresses. In the future, I may talk more about books and shows in and around Hong Kong besides my daily life. Wow, it's so fun talking about myself in English. And this channel is just a way to record my journey, so let's see what the next year brings. See you next time.